Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to exciting archaeology news. Today, we delve into a captivating mystery surrounding the Great Pyramid, the existence of hidden elevator shafts. While one hypothesis suggests these shafts were utilized during construction, our focus lies on the tantalizing possibility that one of these concealed passages harbors the long-sought remains of Pharaoh Khufu. Join us as we unravel the mysteries surrounding the Great Pyramid and its mysterious connection to Pharaoh Khufu. Before we unravel these enigmatic mysteries, ensure you've subscribed and liked our channel to keep abreast of more captivating stories from the intriguing realms of our collective past. Contrary to popular belief, doubts linger regarding the Great Pyramid's status as Khufu's final resting place. Historical accounts and archaeological findings offer intriguing clues. Records from the late dynastic era connect Khufu to the pyramid, with Herodotus attributing its construction to him. Moreover, evidence of significant construction activity at Giza during Khufu's reign lends credence to the theory. However, skepticism persists, fueled by the mysterious Khufu graffiti discovered in the pyramid's relieving chambers. While these pieces of evidence are circumstantial, they hint at the possibility that Khufu may have played a role in the pyramid's renovation and repurposing, transforming an ancient structure into his tomb. While many readily accept Plato's account of the lost island Atlantis, some dismiss Greek historian Herodotus' assertion linking Khufu to the Great Pyramid. Nonetheless, Khufu's tomb remains undiscovered, prompting a hypothesis that he might have been interred within the pyramid itself. Enter the intriguing notion of the Great Pyramid elevator hypothesis. This conjecture proposes that the king's chamber atop the pyramid serves as the terminus of an ancient elevator system. The peculiar uneven floor of the chamber is suggested to be the elevator's ceiling. Presently dormant at its lowest position, the elevator, according to this theory, conceals the true burial chamber beneath. In essence, it functions as a ruse, a counterfeit tomb intended to confound grave robbers, featuring a false sarcophagus positioned atop the elevator's roof. The claim is that the sarcophagus was always empty, always lidless, and always broken so that any later explorers, whether in Egypt or thousands of years later, would see the room and stop their search, believing the king's tomb had already been looted, and therefore leaving the pharaoh in peace. The elevator itself is made of stone, probably limestone, with granite, and it wasn't made to keep going up and down. It was made to go down once, and only once, when the king's body was placed inside. According to researchers, this hypothesis sheds light on over 40 perplexing anomalies within the Great Pyramid. These anomalies include the purpose of the air shafts, the significant salt deposits in the Queen's chamber, peculiar vertical scratches on the walls of the King's chamber, and the presence of white powder. If substantiated, this hypothesis suggests the existence of an undisturbed burial site for a king deep within the Great Pyramid. This sarcophagus, perpetually empty and lidless, embodies a cryptic mystery designed to deter explorers throughout history. Crafted from sturdy limestone and adorned with granite, its shattered facade served as a cunning ruse to dissuade further intrusion. The stone elevator, a relic of ancient engineering, was not meant for continual use, but rather for a single descent to entomb the pharaoh. Researchers advancing this theory assert its ability to elucidate over 40 perplexing anomalies within the pyramid's confines. From the mysterious air shafts to the saline residue in the Queen's chamber, each peculiar detail finds an explanation within this narrative. If substantiated, this hypothesis could unveil a pristine royal interment concealed within the pyramid's core. Before dismissing this notion as fanciful or improbable, consider the audacious feat of the Great Pyramid itself. A marvel of ancient engineering, it stands as a testament to human ingenuity and defies conventional limitations. Within its hallowed chambers, nothing is beyond the realm of possibility. Now, let's dive into the compelling evidence supporting the elevator hypothesis. Inside the king's chamber, a notable absence of hieroglyphs or iconic imagery is observed. This absence is not an oversight, but a deliberate design choice. You see, the king's chamber served a dual purpose. It functioned as both a lift shaft and a diversionary tactic. In ancient Egyptian tradition, hieroglyphs and funerary images adorned burial chambers, not as mere decorations for public viewing, but as sacred passages intended solely for the departed. Consequently, these markings would only be present where the body lay, not in areas accessible to others. Thus, the absence of hieroglyphs within the king's chamber strongly supports the notion that it was utilized as an elevator shaft, discreetly concealing its true function from the uninitiated. In our exploration of the Great Pyramid's mysteries, we encounter intriguing revelations about the king's chamber. As observed by Flinders Petrie and evidenced by interior cavity photographs, an unusual architectural feature emerges: the detachment of the chamber's floor from its walls. Astonishingly, the walls extend beneath what we traditionally identify as the floor level. This anomaly prompts speculation that the king's chamber floor may not be conventional at all. Further adding to the mystery is the discovery of a peculiar white powder coating the chamber walls. Researchers hypothesize that this substance resulted from friction, generated as the limestone or granite elevator descended along the granite walls during the movement of the lifts. This mysterious residue hints at the dynamic forces at play within the pyramid's inner chambers, deepening the intrigue surrounding its construction and purpose. In the mysterious realm of the Great Pyramid, mysterious features within the king's chamber captivate our curiosity. Vertical scratches adorn the chamber walls, defying explanation. Strikingly, these marks seem to have materialized post-polishing, prompting researchers to propose a compelling theory. They attribute these mysterious scratches to the movement of the elevator during its descent to the final resting place. Delving deeper, our gaze falls upon the king's chamber sarcophagus. Its inferior quality and conspicuous cut marks raise questions. Lacking a ledge and displaying signs of ancient breakage, some speculate it might have been left unfinished intentionally. A fascinating hypothesis surfaces, suggesting it as a deliberate ruse, a counterfeit coffer never destined for a royal occupant. While the king's chamber boasts impeccably polished granite walls, a stark contrast emerges in the condition of its floor and ceiling. An incongruity unfolds as the floor presents a chaotic amalgamation of uneven blocks. Archaeologists posit a purpose behind this disparity, asserting that the meticulous wall finish aimed to diminish friction during the elevator's descent, a detail ostensibly irrelevant for the elevator shaft's roof or a false floor. In our exploration of the pyramid's enigmatic design, we confront the mystery of its relieving chambers and robust granite beams above the king's chamber. The purpose of such structural fortification seems disproportionate for the king's chamber alone. An explanation emerges when we consider the presence of a concealed hollow, an elevator shaft necessitating heightened roof support. A puzzling aspect surfaces as we delve into the pyramid's interior: loose quartz sand. Its presence is noted in various locations, such as cavities surrounding the lower queen's chamber, seeping through the roof recess in the queen's chamber, and within the queen's chamber air shafts. An intriguing hypothesis emerges. The elevator shaft may once have been filled with coarse sand, renowned for its strength, facilitating the descent of the elevator. This sand was subsequently released, strategically filling purpose-built cavities within the pyramid structure, an aspect we'll explore in greater detail later. Furthermore, the investigation extends to micrograph imagery data, previously featured in one of our videos. This data reveals a substantial void beneath the king's chamber floor. A notable reading is detected directly beneath the entrance, aligning with the elevated position of the presumed elevator. Additionally, a significant oblong-shaped anomaly in the center corresponds to the hypothetical placement of the sarcophagus. These findings offer a glimpse into the internal dimensions of the stone elevator's hollow, housing the authentic sarcophagus, an intriguing revelation presented here with a degree of simplicity. In the exploration of the pyramid's inner workings, hypotheses shed new light on the purpose of the pyramid's air shafts. These shafts, traditionally seen as mysterious features, now emerge as integral components of a functional mechanism. According to one interpretation, the air shaft served as conduits for an ingenious elevator system. In this scenario, the lower section of the elevator shaft was initially filled with substantial blocks of salt. To initiate the descent of the elevator, water was carefully poured into the air shafts leading from the king's chamber, cascading down the shafts and gradually dissolving the salt blocks beneath. Subsequently, the salty water flowed through the queen's chamber shafts, eventually reaching the queen's chamber itself. This process, proposed by Giovanni Cavaglia, elucidates the significant salt deposits discovered within the chamber. Furthermore, the presence of quartz and cab near the Queen's Chamber, previously discussed in our videos, suggests the existence of reservoirs strategically positioned to manage water flow. These reservoirs functioned as containment areas, allowing water to permeate through the pyramid without compromising its structural integrity. However, an intriguing possibility arises when considering the composition of the sand surrounding the pyramid. If this sand indeed consisted of limestone, akin to the prevalent type found on the Giza Plateau, and if the water used in the mechanism possessed a slightly acidic nature, it could have potentially dissolved the sand over time. Such dissolution might have introduced instability to the pyramid's structure, adding another layer of complexity to our understanding of its construction and function. In exploring this theory further, an intriguing variant emerges, suggesting that the lower section of the elevator shaft was not filled with salt, but with fine, coarse sand. The influx of water into the King's Chamber air shafts served to dissolve the salt plug, displacing the sand downward toward the Queen's Chamber air shafts, thus facilitating the descent of the elevator. While this theory captivates with its complexity, it faces its share of challenges. Historical accounts indicate that both Caliph al-Ma'mun and Howard Weiss excavated the floor of the King's Chamber, yet found nothing of significance. However, it's plausible that the original excavation occurred during ancient Egyptian times, rather than in the era of the Caliph al-Ma'mun. Nevertheless, this lack of tangible evidence doesn't discredit the elevator hypothesis. It's important to note that the concept of the elevator doesn't necessitate a large, square box structure with thin walls resembling a room. Instead, it suggests the construction of solid masonry blocks, housing a small interior chamber for the sarcophagus. To unravel this mystery, it appears that al-Ma'mun and Howard Weiss fell short of uncovering the burial chamber within the Great Pyramid. Weiss, disillusioned by the lack of findings, attributed this to previous looting by tomb raiders, ultimately abandoning his quest. Yet, one cannot help but ponder. Why was there an excavation in the first place? Was there insider knowledge guiding these efforts? This speculation gains intrigue, particularly with the recent revelation of a new void discovered through the Scan Pyramids project. Despite our current understanding of the pyramid's internal layout, this void appears disconnected from any known corridors. Its solitary existence hints at the possibility of hidden passageways yet to be discovered. Could the enigma of the Great Pyramid's purpose lie concealed within these hidden chambers? Speculation abounds regarding potential connections within its intricate design. One theory posits the existence of a vertical shaft at the convergence of the ascending and descending passages, while another suggests a corridor stemming from a concealed void behind the pyramid's outer chevron blocks. If these conjectures hold merit, they may lead to a revelation, a passageway linked to the burial chamber nestled within the pyramid's depths, housing the pharaoh's treasured possessions for the afterlife. Could it be that the essence of the pyramid's purpose has eluded us all this time, veiled within these clandestine chambers? The mystery endures, inviting contemplation and debate. Is this notion grounded in truth, or merely a wistful longing for answers? Share your insights in the comments below, and let the quest for understanding continue.